So next, I just want to go over a few resources that we have available to you after the presentation today that will help you navigate the initial eligibility process as well as amateurism best practices throughout this process. Okay. So the first resources here are our websites, ncaa.org/playcollegesports. That's where you can go to find all of this information. Our website for international prospective student athletes is listed next, followed by our general registration page, which is eligibilitycenter.org. We also encourage all of you to follow us on social media. We have a wonderful social media team that sends out several reminders per day via Twitter and Instagram and Facebook with regular reminders about what to do to stay on track for eligibility. They also share things such as these upcoming webinars and information. So just be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook for regular updates. One thing that we'll talk about a bit later is the opportunity that students have to sign a national letter of intent with a university. And if you'd like more information, or if a university has talked to you about a national letter of intent, you can find all of the information there at nationalletter.org. And then lastly, some good resources for you to download is our guide to the college-bound student athlete. I'll be referencing that here in a few slides when I talk about recruiting calendars and best practices to navigating the recruitment process for college. So that is where you can find the guide for the college-bound student athlete, as well as the most recent version, the 2019-2020 Guide to International Academic Standards for Athletics Eligibility. And that contains the resource for Spain that goes over the academic requirements and how we convert grades, what we consider to be acceptable high school graduation, etc. Okay. So if you go to the link in the upper right-hand corner later tonight or another time this week, that is the link to this landing page. So we just launched these last February, and these are new country-specific web pages for students. So when you click on the link, it's going to take you to the general international landing page. You would click on the top tab circled there, Europe, and that would give you a drop-down box of European countries, and within that is where you would find Spain. Once you click on Spain, this page will appear. And on the right-hand side is where you'll see Spain information and Spain academic guidelines. If you click on that link, it will take you to what I'm going to show you on the next slide here. So this is just a quick shot of what the academic PDF looks like for Spain for students to have. You'll see that it contains a list of acceptable forms of proof of graduation or diploma types that we accept from Spain. It also tells you what the native languages are that are acceptable from Spain on a transcript, what year 9 is called, what we consider it, what the graduation timeline is. You'll also see the grading scale conversions. So that's going to help you calculate what a GPA is on a Spanish transcript to what it is for that NCAA initial eligibility requirements. So for example, if you are roughly a 7 to an 8 average student in Spain, that equates to a B average in our system, which is roughly a 3.0 GPA. So this will help you go course by course through your classes and convert the Spanish grades to the US grades, and then from there calculate your GPA. One last point I want to point out here is there's important information section at the bottom of the middle picture. That is where you will find commonly approved and denied course titles in Spain. So that's where you would find history of philosophy, mathematics applied to social science, philosophy and citizenship, scientific culture. All of those are unique course titles for Spain that our team has reviewed and approved, and those are listed there. Also, some common course titles that we get questions about that have been reviewed and denied, which means the content of the courses do not meet our definition of a core course for initial eligibility requirements. Courses such as business economics, research project, and teaching English do not count towards the college preparatory core course titles. Next slide. Okay, so this is the website, and the link is on the right there for you, ncaa.org/student-athletes/future/amateurism. And that's where you can find a lot of resources about using recruiting services, delaying your enrollment to a university between high school and full-time collegiate enrollment, receiving payments from sports teams. At the bottom there where it says need more information on the left, and there's a click here, that's where you can actually find sport-specific resources. So we have a few developed for sports such as tennis and soccer and ice hockey and skiing. So if any of those are sports that you're interested in participating in, that's where you can find some best practices and do's and don'ts. We do recognize that a majority of international students do utilize a recruiting service or a scholarship agent or a scouting service in order to help them navigate this process of collegiate eligibility. It is possible to do it on your own through the help of Education USA or through contacting our customer service team, who can help walk you through the process as well. But if you do ultimately choose to use a recruiting service, I highly encourage you to download that second bullet point in the middle section that says using a recruiting service or recruiting agency or scholarship agent, just because that will walk you through some of the kind of areas that students get tripped up in their eligibility through use of a recruiting service.